All right? That's your basic out the back. Getting your underhook in almost all cases is a winning option. All right? Especially when you're first starting out. Underhooks, as a rule, win. All right? Now, there are counters to the escapes, and there are counters to the counters, and then eventually it just turns into a mess. All right? When you start watching like no-gi black belts that are really good, it looks like a scramble. They have techniques they're going for. They're rolling around. They're moving around. They're planning. They have counters upon counters upon counters. But it looks, especially if you don't know what they're trying to do, like an insane mess. All right. So we're going to talk about some of the counters to a good side control or half guard, which is where that conversation came from. All right. So first, my favorites. All right. John's in a good solid side control here. All right, I can't even get my elbow down, okay? Anytime I'm going, first thing I got to do to get out of side control is make some space, right? If I have no space here, and John's just content to sit and hold, not that I've ever done this in a tournament because I was terrified of the guy I was grappling with, and I somehow accidentally ended up on top, all right? But I got to make some sort of space. The other thing that sucks in this position is when John's sitting nice and low here, he can give me the shoulder of justice and start making my neck hurt, right? I already got bad neck, so I don't need the help. But that's usually what you're going to get is guys are on top, they're in a good position, and they're just crushing your face because I can't bridge into them anymore, right? So first thing I got to do is make space to at least be able to turn my head. I can't even shrimp if I'm looking that way, all right? I can't shrimp away because my hips can't turn if my head's facing that way. So first thing I'm going to do, anytime you're feeling claustrophobic here, grab the shoulder and rotate your elbow away. So I'm not even pushing him so much as pushing myself away from him. Okay? At least then I can turn my face. Okay? Now I'm going to use that same one-legged hip pop we did before because my knee is up so I don't get mounted or knee on belly did. Okay? It's a word, trust me. Alright, so I made a little bit of space so I could breathe, and I'm going to pop my hips a little bit so I can get that elbow down. Just a little bit. Okay? I'm still not out. But at least now my elbow's in his ribs a little bit. Make it suck. Okay? So I can make a little space. I can turn my face. I can strip my hips out. Right? Now he has to deal with all of this fun stuff. The other nice thing is, you see where his head is now? Okay? It's not over on the point of my shoulder here. Alright? When he was in a good position, his head was over the top of my shoulder. So there's no way I'm going to get my hand in there. Okay? Especially with my little girly wrist. But now once I got a little space, I can take that bone on the outside of your wrist and just grind it against the side of his head. Okay, my knee is still up, you notice. I have not dropped it at all. My knee is still up to make sure I don't get mounted. Okay, and don't do this because now my knee is static. Exactly, he can drop my hips over and then he can still get that sucky position. All right, or when my knee is here, he can just drive his knee across. Okay. Yep, same thing. It's not even in his way. Okay? But when he's on the ground and my knee is up nice and tight to his ribs, when John tries to raise up to move his hips, I can keep my leg in his way. Okay? If he tries to step up and over like he just started today, I can kick it straight. Right? I'm not even flexible, but I can at least get it high enough to get it in his way. Okay? That's why I want that leg free and able to move. I'm not pushing against him, I'm just keeping it there. Alright? I got some space, I can turn my head now. I can make my frame. Right? My knee still hasn't dropped, and now I can shoot my underhook. Right? Now, I've been seeing a couple of times. John sits through the scarf. All right? I got the underhook, and he kills my underhook. Right? I've still got the good position, technically. But he's squishing it. Okay? Now, remember when I was saying, when I say shrimp, and what you're doing is not working, maybe try the opposite? This is the exact position I was talking about. Because if you think shrimp, what you find is you're doing this, that gets really heavy. And every time he drops, it crushes my ribs a little bit more. Okay, and I'm fat and out of shape, and this hurts. So instead, I've got my underhook. So instead of trying to move him, I'm just going to hold him in position. Right? And especially with the gi here, I like to grab the back of the gi. And I'm just going to shrimp away. And I shrimp. Okay? Now that pressure's off my ribs. My arm is still tight here, so it's not really in a whole lot of danger. There's some things you can do, but by that point he's got to give up position. But at least I can breathe now. Right? Take that pressure off my fat. Okay? And I'm just going to keep shrimping. Now with this hand that's on the back of his neck, I'm just going to punch the wall. Take him over backwards. All right? It doesn't have to be huge shrimps. Okay? It's not one big. It didn't work. Now I'm stuck. Okay? I'm not trying to grab his face, which is an option. Okay? But it's all about the hips. I'm trying to make a hole here for him to fall into. All right? In no-gi, yes, I probably have to get in front of his face. Okay? Or I got to try to really kick into it. But if I'm trying to kick into it, all he has to do is push back into me. Yeah. And I'm back on my back. Right? But if I just scoot out from underneath him, scoot, 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 whoop. Now we're in that middle ground. Who's going to do a better sit-up? All right? The old guy or the fat guy? Right? He won. This time. All right? He won. No, he did. He won. Okay? But now I made a little bit more space so I can shrimp again. And I sit up. Oh, I couldn't make it. Okay, I made a little bit more space. Let's sit out again. Now I'm on top. Okay? So I don't necessarily have to do everything on the first try. But every time I make a motion, it's for a purpose. It's to gain just an extra foot. Just an extra foot. All right? Or in this case, an inch. All right? Or however much that is. I don't know how big an inch is. There we go. All right? He's smarter than me. It's fine. Questions? So, we're going to get in a good position, right? Guy on the bottom, he's going to crush my head. Crush my head. Apparently I'm Scottish too. All right? Get in that position. Boom. John, squishing me, making me hate my life. Right? I don't have anything I can even do. I can't even trip out because my face is the wrong way. First thing you're going to do is grab that shoulder and make a little bit of space so I can turn my face. All right? I made that little bit of space. My elbow's still not in the right position now. My knee is up to protect me, but I'm going to use my opposite leg, pop my hips. Right? It's not a big bridge. This doesn't do anything. Okay? Except make me more tired. I don't got a lot of those in me.
You give me space to reset.
Absolutely. And John gets settled in again. Now my face is the wrong way. So now I got to make more space again. Okay? Instead, I'm going to pop my hips and twist the shoulders just a little bit. Doesn't take a whole lot. You can even use that leg to get a little twist. Now I can move my head, right? Turn my face, and I can make it suck for him. All right? And he sits out, up. Now I don't even have my underhook, right? He already sat out to scarf, right? I'm not, what am I going to do? I can't grab the back of his collar. That's okay. I've still at least got enough space, and I can shrimp. And I can shrimp. And now my forearm's in his neck. Same thing. I just stiff arm him. And sit through. Now I'm in side control.
Is it going to be any easier there with the underhook though? Trying to flip him over? Is it not really big?
It gives you more options because if I may not be able to take him over backwards, and especially no-gi or MMA, right? I don't have stuff to grab onto, and even with that underhook, it's usually not in a good position to really grab the face. It's a possibility, but as long as I have that underhook, when I try to sit up and he drives into me, he kills my underhook, boom, right? And I try to sit up and he drives into me. I'm going to do the same thing I did before, right? And I'm going to throw my underhook as I come underneath and I shrimp again. Right? And now I'm in an even better position. My arms are safe. I've got control of his hips, right? I get up nice and tight, I bridge, and I roll. Okay? We're going to do that one again.
That's why I was looking. I was struggling. But I want to know how to do it. You know what I mean? When you do it, I feel